Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shemel Shai, and give double honors to the apostles of great men so not to rule well. Salutations to the men of the whole land, sincere elect. There's a brother, Makaza out here in Trinidad. Just want to do a little edification for the lexic. And the name of this lesson would be a spiritual Mandela effect. Alright? So when you look up, what is a Mandela effect? It says the Mandela effect is a type of false memory that occurs when many different people incorrectly remember the same thing. It refers to a widespread false memory that Nelson Mandela, South African human rights activist and eventual president, died in prison in the 1980s. Right? And the reason why I name it, a spiritual Mandela effect, because of two reasons, and mainly revolving around Jacob and Esau, which in these modern times are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which make up the house of Jacob, the true Israelites, and Esau, whose modern name is the so-called Caucasians or so-called whites. All right. Now, one part of the Mandela effect is where these Edomites, they would swear that they are the people of the book, that they are the true Israelites, and they would go through history to say, this is us, this is our forefathers. All right. And they would go through the whole history, and they would swear, hey, this is us, this is what it's speaking about, which is not speaking about them. They believe that they in the rightful place, they are the chosen ones, they're supposed to be in the land, which they are not. But the main part of the lesson is when the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai takes Esau down and puts them into captivity. All right, puts them into captivity under us, the house of Israel. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 8. It says, "It shall even be as when an hungry man dreameth, and behold, he eateth, but he awaketh, and his soul is empty. Or as when a thirsty man dreameth, and behold, he drinketh, but he awaketh, and behold, he is faint, and his soul hath appetite. So shall the multitude of all the nations be that fight against Mount Zion." All right. So they're gonna be, dreaming that they fill in their belly with food or drink, probably having a good time, probably dreaming about, on their Wall Street, making new apps, like the Facebooks, the WhatsApps, the Instagrams, coming up with all sorts of technologies running the world. And then they're gonna wake up and they're gonna realize, like, all right, they're waking up to whips, to go out in the cotton field, to go out and labor. They're in slavery, and they're like one to another, like, we wasn't in rulership, we wasn't ruling these people. I could have sworn we were the people that was on the billboards and on the movies, the billionaires, the trillionaires, the tycoons, all the big business owners running all the franchise, owning Bugattis and private jets and yachts. This wasn't us. We wasn't those people. We wasn't the Lord's chosen. That's how they're gonna be. All right? That's how we're gonna be. But guess what? You was never supposed to be in that position. All right? A lot of times with the Mandela effect, people swear that that this is really how it was. All right, this is really how it was, and truth and fact, it was never like that. But it like a preconceived notion, or like it's something just conjured up in their mind, like, hey, this is really how it was. I remember it to be this way, and it wasn't. You never was the Lord's chosen. You never was supposed to be on top. And then when you one day you're gonna wake up in slavery, and then you're asking to realize that, hey, you in hell. And even us are gonna be the same thing. We're gonna wake up one morning, it's like, I could have sworn we was in slavery. But because, as the scripture said, the forces of the Gentiles, they're gonna overtake us. We're gonna forget all the hardship that we was ever living. And they're gonna be like a Mandela effect. We're gonna be one time that are like, we used to be in slavery, right? We used to be working hard. We used to be working jobs, 9 to 5, sometimes double shift, 3 different jobs just to pay rent. One work is to pay rent, the other is to try to get food on the table. The other is to pay bills and utilities. Didn't we used to do that? And then your brother will look at you like, for real? I think, but I can't really remember. It's like it's gonna be like a thought, just gone. All right, because the goodness and the mercies of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua gonna overshadow us. That guess what? Oppression ain't gonna be remembered, as the scripture said. Oppression shall not rise up a second time. But on you Edomites, that gonna be your livelihood until forever comes. All right, that gonna be your livelihood. This is the book of Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 20. It says, in those days and in that time, said Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the iniquity of Israel shall be sought for, and there shall be none. And the sins of Judah, and they shall not be found, for I will pardon them whom I reserved. So yes, so they're going to be like, we used to have these people in slavery. We used to have them living as slums, as they used to be niggers, right? Because they're gonna be trying to try to understand, like how they in that position, and we, guess what? Our sins not gonna be found. The Lord gonna forgive us. He gonna wash away all our filth. All right, you're gonna be like, this is he who we had sometime in derision, and they're gonna be like, yeah, and then, but guess what? It ain't gonna be no trace of your rulership. And it ain't gonna be no trace of us being in slavery or being under your foot. So it's gonna be like a Mandela effect. All right, it's gonna be like a Mandela effect. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 3. It says, break forth. It says, for thou shalt break forth on the right hand and on the left, and thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles, and make the desolate places to be inhabited. It says, fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed, neither be thou confounded, for thou shalt not be put to shame. It says, for thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth. So we ain't gonna even remember that we was in slavery. We're gonna be like, I think we used to be in slavery, and then be like, nah, couldn't be. Because that talk gonna go so far from our minds. All right? It says, for thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth, and thou shalt not remember the reproach of thy widowhood anymore. There ain't gonna be no signs of it. There ain't gonna be no remembrance of it. Just like the Day of Atonement. The Day of Atonement is a yearly reminder that we still in the first covenant. We still under the first covenant. All right? We transitioning to go into the second or the new covenant, but even more so in the ancient times, the Day of Atonement was a reminder, a constant reminder that guess what? We still in this flesh. All right? So in the kingdom, we ain't gonna have no constant reminder that we in slavery. We ain't gonna, dream, as the scripture says, I woke and my dream was sweet, and then we have to go back to our daily lives, working 9 to 5, laboring in the hot sun, wishing that we could have just been, probably lying on our bed with AC on a beach, sipping on some pina coladas, something, some fun thing, instead of just laboring all day, earning next to nothing. All right? Because when you really think about it, we living in hell. All right? Like here in Trinidad, you might pay $17 for a pack of sliced bread. And you might say, all right, nah, that's cheap. But guess what? At some point in history, $17 was someone's daily wage at some point in history. And even if you go further back, $17 was someone's monthly wage. So yeah, you might say, $17 is not expensive, but at some time, $17 could have done so much. So yeah, we in hell. We in hell right now. All right? We in hell right now. But in the kingdom, that ain't gonna be an issue to us because we're gonna own all things. We're gonna own everything. All right? So when we are accustomed to hardship and then the Lord give us such easy living and give us such wealth and such happiness, and as the scripture said in Isaiah chapter 35 and 10, everlasting joy. Guess what? As pursuing to what I just read in Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 4, it says what? And thou shalt not remember the reproach of thy widowhood anymore. We ain't gonna remember that. We're gonna be in heaven. We're gonna be in heaven. All right? And we ain't gonna remember no hardship. And it's gonna be like a Mandela effect both to Esau and Jacob, because Esau gonna, he gonna be looking left and right, searching to find proof that they were enslaved. They're gonna be like, yes, we used to be enslaved, but guess what? You ain't gonna find no proof of it. They're gonna be like, nah, you know what? I really dreamt it. It was just a dream. We never was in slavery, because guess what? We never was, as living as kings. Because guess what? There must be some proof. You're gonna find any proof of it. You're gonna find no proof of it. Just like you wipe the history books. Guess what? We're gonna wipe the history books. You're gonna find no proof that you was on top. You're gonna be underneath and you're gonna be oppressed always. Deuteronomy 30 and 7. It says the curse is gonna be upon you. The curse is gonna be upon you. Alright? This is the book of Job chapter 20 and verse 7. It says, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which see him shall say, where is he? He gonna be right there in slavery in front of them, and they're gonna be like, where is he? All right? It says, he shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. It says, the eye also which shall see, the eyes also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. The eyes which saw him shall see him no more. As I said, he's gonna be right there before you in slavery. He's gonna be right there before you in slavery, but not in his opulence, not in his high, exalted position. So you're gonna be like, there'll be no recollection of you Edomites in your kingdom. All we're gonna know is the hatred that we have towards you. All right, and especially when our children go up, they're gonna be like, yeah, this piece of twa, this piece of dung, because that way gonna be your name in the kingdom, dung and twa, spit. All right, it's gonna be a serious case of Mandela effect in the kingdom, especially on you Edomites. Especially on you Edomites. Right? As the final precept here, this is Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 16. It says, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the gate, opened not the house for his prisoners? All right, they're gonna look up like, Daisy Man used to do all that. Like they're gonna be like, nah, this couldn't be him. This piece of twa, he did this. Nah, that couldn't be him. Probably that never happened. That is how we're gonna be. Because Esau, you're gonna be so far cast down. Trust me, it's gonna be hard for anyone to believe that you were ever in that high position. And the glory that the Lord gonna set us on, everyone gonna look at us like, nah, these people were never underneath this man's foot. Nah. It's too far of a shift. Now that couldn't be possible. Trust me, it's gonna be a serious case of Mandela effect. And you Edomites, you're gonna have the shitty end of the stick. Alright? All praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And Lord willing, that is where you're gonna be. You're gonna be under the soles of our feet. Alright? And the time steadily approaching is where we're waiting for. Alright? So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. I want to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone that do rule well. Salutation to the men of the whole land, saying, say elect. This is your brother Makazar saying Shalom and stay strong. Shalom.